Right. So you should answer this one.
Okay. Well, obviously this was this was quite a tough one for us, I think, because we started to do this pretty much full time for the last couple of years. We're really pushing it, so this was an album that was quite tough time pressure wise for us. We'd been out the road pretty much all summer and all up to like last Christmas.
Just before Christmas. Yeah.
And so we and writing stuff on the road is really difficult unless you're super committed. There's always interviews to do and things to do. There's always things come up. So basically it was we had basically 3 months to sort of get it tight, get it ready, get it together. So we were trying to get it together as much as we could to get things written. There was obviously the added pressure of writing with Ricky Warwick and with Morley as well, which was great. Just obviously something that we'd never really experienced before. I'd never written with anyone before, so it was a really new experience, especially with time constraints and things. I think things just kind of happened quite organically in the end, and we sort of bring in new stuff to show you guys, and what do you think? And by the time we'd sort of compiled the songs and got into the studio, Luke had his own ideas, like, oh, we should we can flourish this bit, let's extend this bit. And he had his own input, so it just really quite happened quite organically. It was really nice to get that different kind of input from someone who's got his sort of ideas, his look. It was a really different way of working, I think. A lot of pressure, but I think it's came out the other end, and it's just we're all quite relieved actually that
we're actually really proud of it. Completely different. Because we went into the studio and we did like a week of sort of pre-production before we even started recording. We worked on the songs for a week, and we'd never done that before. We sort of like Luke would break down every song completely and just rebuild it almost, and kind of like strip out a lot of stuff which we were a bit like, hold on, don't strip out that, I want to keep that, but then once you start seeing it as the bigger picture, you're like, oh right, I totally get that now, which you would only get from someone that's been doing this for years.
See that's difficult because it's quite full on anyway. So you're thinking, actually, what they cut out?
Like, don't cut out my part. But, you can actually see exactly what he's done. And made it better.
Writing with Luke, I'd actually went down to Luke's house like 3 days before we went into the studio and was writing with Luke. I think sort of seeing him, we have very, very similar tastes in that we had a big love for sort of early 60s music, and we both love Pete Townsend. We always have both of us have this artistic streak that's, I think it's quite bizarre. He comes from an artistic background, his parents were art teachers. I'm at art school, and we both kind of see the same thing in certain songs. That he was like, you need to harness this more. You need to play on this more. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. And sort of bringing that out, and sort of both of us seeing the same thing and trying to emulate that and try enhance that, make it bigger. Was really quite natural. I think it's. I think it was a good choice as a producer, because he is quite, I think, similar, maybe in the way I write, to sort of bring that to you guys. It just felt quite natural, really did.
He's quite really easy to work with as well.
He's good at communicating,
honest,
very honest. It's very
cockney.
Cockney. There was a bit you just couldn't agree on. I was like, no, this is terrible. No, it's everything. Cool. He doesn't take anything to heart. He's not. It's not precious anymore. It's really good.
But with Chris, it was a lot quicker. I think we recorded the album in 5 days or something like that.
Oh, Game On. It wasn't really as much production in that sense. It was more just recording. It was
more live.
This is how songs go. Let's record. It wasn't. I think production was. We hadn't really worked that way before, so Luke had definite ideas about what he wanted to do, and it was refreshing because we never used to work that way before.
There's definitely a lot of really different elements in this album that we've never sort of tried before, like even just more vocal harmonies and concentrate more on our actual singing as well, like me and Hannah as well, just Jill, we've never sort of done that before really.
Kind of like less is more approach as well.
Yeah.
Not putting so much in.
Yeah.
He really stripped back a lot of the drums, and it kind of freaked me out to start with, but then once I heard it back, it made a lot of sense.
Yeah. It feels more like, rather than being really insular, it's kind of like everyone's involved right from the beginning, and they watch it develop, and it's, I think it's just good for everyone that way. They pledge the money, but they get something back out of it, kind of thing.
Made so many new fans through it as well.
People have never
It's a new platform, and
even you see them like this, people's individual names and where they're from come up, and for every single pledge that's done, and see exactly who's there. And never even heard of or met before.
all over the world as well.
All over the world.
And it's people that aren't just like your friends and family and fans of previous years, but new people who've discovered you on pledge and who've pledged for you. It's a really nice way of doing it, rather than just it's really personal. I feel like
it's like you're not just locked in a room and write an album, right? Here's the album.
Because you're connecting to what they feel about it on an individual level, aren't you?
Because they can comment and sort of say things to you and give you advice. And they send you things, and we had a day where we had people come down to the studio down at Wales to hear some of the recordings we've done and spend a day with us and play on the album. And it was really nice. We just took them to the pub and made them dinner and helped them with the songs.
That's nice though, isn't it?
It was really nice to It was just quite nice to give them something back and meet them. And we're all good friends now.
People,
It's really nice.
And they tell all their friends that they've been down a pub with you. We had a drink like this.
It's less lonely in a way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's nice to meet the people.
Yeah.
It's nice to. We're not that precious about. We're quite chatty.
It can be a really sort of antisocial thing to go and record and to be totally away from
Facebook
everyone.
can be quite, in a way, it's social, obviously, but you never really get to meet
disconnected.
No,
It's good to come and meet and
gives the balance back a bit.
It's good to get out there and actually meet people. So we've met a lot of good friends through that, like good people. It's really nice, actually.
It feels like we're a joint effort.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we had the one doing backing vocals as well.
So you're not busy, or you come to your hand vocals, some hand claps, we need some extra bodies. So they were really helpful. Well, I was really young. I was got to play keyboards. I think it was sort of the fascination with the piano.
You played clarinet, didn't you?
Well, I played keyboards when I was like really young, and then up to high school, and then took up clarinet as well. And it was never really that cool, so got to sort of high school. And
That's like Squidward from
became
SpongeBob.
became quite fascinated with the guitar, and so obviously there was a guitar sort of group going on, and it's always like
Always boys.
always boys, and
Always
that's
boys.
Always boys.
that's quite cool. What they've got going on, I want to do that.
I was the same. I was in the guitar group at school. It was always just boys.
And I was in the third year at high school. But I initially started out playing like violin, but I just didn't really enjoy it. I never practiced.
Mind you, did trumpet for like
And I
a couple
did
of weeks.
trumpet for a couple of weeks as well, but when I discovered drums, didn't really look back. We've made so many new fans through it as well.
People have
It's not
never
just-
met.
It's a new platform. And
Even you see them like this, people's individual names and where they're from come up, and for every single pledge that's done, and see exactly who's there. And never even heard of or met before.
all over the world as well.
All over the world.
And it's people that aren't just like your friends and family and fans of previous years, but new people who've discovered you on pledge and who've pledged for you. It's a really nice way of doing it, rather than just it's really personal feel, like it's,
it's like you're not just locked in a room and writing an album, right, here's the album.
Yeah, because you're connecting to what they feel about it on individual level, aren't you?
I think because they can comment and sort of say things to you and give you, advice and they send you things. And we had a day where we had people come down to the studio down at Wales to hear some of the recordings we've done and spend a day with us and play on the album. And it was really nice. We just took them to the pub and made them dinner and took the songs.
That's nice though, isn't it?
It was really nice. It was actually just quite nice to give them something back and meet them. And we're all just good friends now.
People,
It's really nice.
Well, if they hadn't died, then Prince would have been amazing. And cool it'd be to like, because he had a 3 girls as his band.
Oh yeah.
One of the drummers called Hannah as well.
Yeah.
How amazing would that be to be his back band? But instead, it's lower power.
Kind of like, you always get this feel for the bands, but like turned on its head. We could be the backing band. And
With the big lipstick and all that.
Yeah. Addicted to love.
See, I would just go for something
Classic.
See if Slade ever got back together.
Oh, naughty.
That would be incredible. But I think you'd want it in a different style, like Prince. You'd want it to be more
Completely different style.
mainstream.
Mariachi band or something. Yeah.
Completely different style.
Yeah. Or is that guy, is it Richard Cheese? That sort of jazz pianist guy does like covers of like Nirvana and stuff. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? Richard Cheese.
Is it?
Yeah. Because we're not serious people.
Very serious.
We don't. We do take the band seriously, but we like to kind of keep it quite light as well. Not too sort of political or like really dark or anything.
I think we just do this for fun because we love it, and there's not really anything other than that. I think it's more just
we do like a laugh with each other.
we are just really immature.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe rock became too serious, did it?
Yeah. Maybe it was the grunge phase or something. I don't know. When we started to.
There's, I don't know. I think maybe even girl bands are under a lot of pressure just now to be taken seriously and to be sort of seen as rivaling boys. And there are a few bands out there which you kind of, I'm not going to name names, but it's not a bitch test, but you're kind of like, well, a bit of a laugh and they're very just like
It's more about the image.
you kind of it's the image, it's what we're trying to portray, it's who we are, and we were just like, well,
it's such a
have a laugh
because it's such a ridiculous thing to do with your life. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, people will come to see you play songs and
You
we want to entertain.
You have to
part
kind
of
of
it,
sort of take a step back and sort of not take it all so seriously. We're very tame. What have we done? Anything bad?
Let's think of a good one.
Well, last time we got drunk and then we stole little kids' truck out the garden.
That's ages ago.
Raced down the hill.
Years ago, yeah.
That was one time.
Nothing else about that.
But we did leave it on the hill so we could easily
That's quite tame and not
That's very tame.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You just like to sit and watch TV.
We're different about, that's a great gig for me, yeah. And someone else is like, oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. It all depends on like how comfortable you feel on stage, how good your sound is.
I think it was a really good one we all agreed on. It was a Paris show.
I was just going to say that.
It was the week after the attacks, and we were on tour with Thunder, and we didn't really know what was happening. There was all this up in the air about whether we were actually going to play or just go home, and nobody really knew. But it came at the day, and we were just like, we're going to play. Everyone's just going to do it. And we'd showed up, and there was security everywhere, and it was really crazy. But we didn't really think anyone would show up. We didn't think there was going to be any. There was tickets sold obviously, but we didn't really know what was going to happen. And everybody showed up. It was absolutely packed, and they were all. Everybody was. We came out with the audience, and everyone was just in tears at the end. And
oh my god.
we played the best. We played our hearts out. We just totally went for it, and it was one of the best shows we've ever done. And everybody was just, just totally in our thank you for coming, because we don't want we were just getting emotional thinking about it. Everyone was so
telling their stories after people had actually been there at the back band, and
it
came out again,
and it was just
they were just getting on with their lives.
Do you know what, all sorts of different stuff, just I think we're all really into their sort of old classic stuff, old 70s rock and metal and
that classic list of bands.
It's cliche, but it's true.
AC/DC obviously. But even more sort of slightly obscure stuff, sort of like old 60s girl groups. And even like the Beach Boys, they're my absolute favourite band from when I was like 5. It's just, like a bit of punk as well. This new album, I think, Luke's kind of harnessed a lot of that from her sort of influences, kind of, with the sort of vocal harmonies and things like that. I've never really done that before.
Catchy melodies and the big choruses, and
He's definitely sort of drawn that out.
It's sort of turned up to fucking 11 more than anything.
Yeah.
It's we've had harmonies, but it's more.
It's like ridiculous harmonies.
Yeah, there's a lot of really crazy ones in there.
Mum's very into old classic Thin Lizzy and all this. She saw all the best bands when she was younger, and Dad was a bassist as well, and probably got that from him in my genes somewhere.
I don't really know where I get it from. My parents were into musical theatre, so classical music.
It's different.
It's odd. I think just it's more of a stubborn thing in me from being at high school and just getting riled up all the boys, play guitar, and you have to just sing. You can't do this, and it's like, well, And I think it's more just sort of discovering like Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page and Ted Nugent as well. Just a lot of the kind of singery kind of ones as well. Some sort of guitarists. Pete Townsend to an extent, and just something with a bit of interest. It's more interesting.
It's just people that just catch your attention and just.
Just like Pantera for years and years. Dimebag, the way he played, that's how I play, with a really awkward arm position. To an extent, I think it works with some bands, certain bands, but I think if you concentrate on that too much, you're just kind of missing the point, really. I think it maybe worked in the 60s where it was like. That it was all fashion, it was all rage, it was all kind of. But I think as time goes on, fashion these days, folk are walking on the street with like their trainers and leggings on, and you're like, that's cool, but would you be seen wear? We do wear that, I don't think it's as important these days. I think it's more you've got to be conscious of it, but don't let it rule. We think about it, we overthink it, I think, sometimes, what we have to wear.
Yeah.
and we never really seemed to come to any conclusion ever.
So
What are you wearing? What are you wearing?
you could have tried to sort of be like, right, we could, you know,
I don't think we
let's
found
try and
our-
create an image for
I
ourselves,
don't
but
think
then
we
it never
found it yet.
works.
We never found our style yet.
We
never
find
really
just
found
being
that.
ourselves.
It's actually just the first thing that falls out your bag, to be honest.
And that's who we are. That's
what we
just
are.
what we are as a band.
Off
Sums it up.
the hoof kind of rock and roll.